Hello, it's Drummond. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you know whenever I'm posting my next video. So today's video is number 2 of the month, and I wanted to talk about living an authentic life. I think that it is so important for everyone to realize that when it comes to living your life, you want to make sure that you are living your most authentic life. There are so many people out there that try to pretend to be something that they're not. And when you do that, you attract things into your life that aren't meant for you. I know that when I was growing up, there was a lot of times when there were people that I really wanted to hang out with because they were cool or popular. I felt like I had to kind of change who I was so that they would like me or want to hang out with me. And in that sense, I was changing myself to have some friends, and it worked. I ended up having some of the friends. But the bad thing was, over time, it really got exhausting to be someone that I wasn't. And I think that a lot of people do that in life, whether it's for work, for a significant other, for friends, for a job opportunity. I think we have to realize that when it comes to the things that are supposed to be in our life, if we are authentic and we really put our best foot forward, I think that we start to attract all the right things for ourselves. Because honestly, there have been times when, because I'm LGBT, that I felt like I needed to kind of keep that information to myself because I didn't want to make other people uncomfortable. And I also was afraid that if someone knew that I was part of the community, that I wouldn't get a job or someone wouldn't want to be my friend. But at the end of the day, do you really want to have any of those if they aren't accepting of who you are? So I think that when it comes to those types of things, when you go out, and I think that even when it comes to ourselves, like, do we really know ourselves? Because being part of the LGBT community, there are a lot of times when we try to pretend to be something that we're not so that we can kind of fit into society and not kind of be outcasted for being gay. And when you're in the closet, of course you're trying to hide your real identity. So once you come out, you kind of have to unpack everything and try to figure out who you really are versus like who you pretended to be accepted. So when you go through life, I think it's important to kind of, instead of asking for opinions from the outside world, you should be asking yourself, like, does this really make me happy? Is this what I really want to be doing right now with my time and energy? Because at the end of the day, friends can walk out of your life, family members can walk out of your life, jobs can let you go. But if you're doing what you really are passionate about and you attract all the right people, then you're going to start to see that you are living a life of abundance instead of living a life of lack where you kind of feel like you're never good enough or you just aren't meant to be someplace just because you were attracting all the wrong things. I know that for me, there was a lot of times when I was posting YouTube videos as well as kind of creating content for other platforms where I felt like I needed to kind of keep my personal views a little bit on the back burner, just because I felt like if I created a channel where I was too opinionated, that I would scare people away from subscribing to my channel or watching any of my future videos. And it wasn't until I realized that you can't please everybody that I started to create content that actually made me feel fulfilled. And then I started getting followers that actually really agreed with the way that I viewed the world. And I was able to communicate with them and start to create friendships with the people that were watching my content. I think that that is something that a lot of people can learn in life, because I think so often we live in a place of lack where we feel like if we do certain things, if we are truly ourselves, that we're going to be missing out on something. And to be honest, I've spent way too much of my life trying to attract things that I thought I wanted in my life instead of really chasing after my passions and allowing people who also had those same passions or who appreciated me for having the passions that I have to become a part of my life. And I just want to create this video so that if there's anyone out there who's kind of struggling with finding friends that actually stick around and are actually there for you when you need them, or having a job where when you go to work, you feel like you can really be yourself and not hide parts of yourself, because that can be extremely draining of your energy, being surrounded by things that don't complement who you are as a person. So this video is for you. If you are out there wondering whether or not your authentic self is good enough for the world, just know that it is. And if you really start to practice, and I know that this isn't something that happens overnight, this could be something that takes a little bit to unpack, because society has this way of like forcing its views into your head. And for people in the LGBT community and other minority groups, it's sometimes really hard to kind of feel like who you really are is what will be accepted by the people around you. Because I mean, I grew up in a very small town, so I think that that really impacted my view of, I really need people to like me. I need people to be there for me when it comes to protecting you. If someone was very anti-gay, I needed allies. So I felt like I kind of had to cater to some people so that they would be an ally if I needed them. But at the end of the day, I don't want an ally that's just kind of friendly to me because I did lots of things for them, or I pretended to be something that I wasn't. And then when I actually need them to be an ally, maybe when I'm not standing next to them, like when they're in a room full of people who are anti-LGBT, I need them to be an ally even in that moment. So I think that it's so important for us to really put a lot of focus on being our most authentic selves. And a lot of times it can be hard. I mean, as a YouTuber, I feel like a lot of times I see other content creators that are really succeeding at what they're doing. And then I've even had some followers who kind of have made suggestions where they're like, well, maybe if you were more like this person, or maybe if you did more content like this, you would start to get more views, or you would start to get more subscribers. And at the end of the day, if you're creating content that's not you, one, it's misleading to people. Two, you're not going to attract people that are actually like there to support you and everything that you stand for. You're attracting maybe a larger audience, but at the end of the day, you're not going to feel fulfilled or surrounded by people that you love. You're going to be standing in a room full of people and still feel really alone. Whereas if you create content that you absolutely love, then you're going to be surrounded by people that are so supportive of everything that you do, which thankfully I learned that lesson early in life. I would say that a lot of people, like my grandfather and a lot of teachers, tried to push that into my head that you really just have to be yourself, and all the right people that deserve to be in your life will show up at the right times. And I've found that to be true. I know that sometimes life can get a little bit lonely, but that's when you need to buckle down and really find a way to love yourself. Because I've learned that when I took the time to love me, I wasn't constantly seeking love from other people. And now when it comes to the people that are in my life, it's because they appreciate me for taking the time to love myself and taking time to figure out who I am as a person so I can live an authentic life. And they appreciate that about me. And that is definitely worth fighting for, because at the end of the day, I feel like I have some really amazing friends that I could probably call at any time of the day. I know that some of my friends are vampires, because every time I text them, they seem to respond right away. When it comes to like really digging down into the closet or the basement, I like to call it, of who you are as a person, and kind of like weeding out things that aren't you, it's so important for you to kind of just ask yourself, like, was I doing this for me because it's something that I love, or was I doing this because X, Y, and Z, whether it's for a job, work, relationship, friends, anything like that. Just ask yourself, like, do you really love this? Does it bring you joy? Kind of like, you have to hug it, say, thank you for whatever energy you brought to me, but I'm letting you go so that you can be part of someone's life who actually enjoys whatever you are, because you don't bring joy to me anymore. And be aware that just because something doesn't bring you joy now, doesn't mean that later on down the road, it doesn't bring you joy, or maybe from the past, certain people brought you joy but are no longer bringing you joy. It's okay to let it go. And I don't think that you do it in a hateful way. I just think sometimes you just have to slowly start to put some distance between you or places with certain people. I just think that it's so important for you to realize, and I've done videos on this a lot about protecting yourself and your energy. And I think that really just being your most authentic self is really going to just attract things into your life that are good for you. Don't force things. It's like a puzzle. You can jam a puzzle piece into another one, but if it's not meant to be there, it's not going to be the picture that you're trying to make. So future goals, your future ideal life, like if you're forcing things to be there, more likely they're not going to stay long term. But that is all that I have for today's video. Hopefully you guys are having a great week, and make sure that you follow all my other social media platforms. I'll leave that link below. Love talking to you all. Please leave some comments. I love responding to comments under my YouTube videos. And if there's any suggestions for any videos that you would like to see this month, feel free to let me know. Always open to new ideas. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.